I mean, I've always been curious, and I've wanted to know the answer to this for 30 years. What exactly was in that slop bucket that you carried to the ring?
Are you talking about a specific slop bucket like Sonny's or
Like,
just?
yeah, like when someone actually got slopped, like Sonny.
Well, Sonny's the only one that got a sloppy slopping. That's what we were calling it. Yeah, I seen on the Vice channel a few months ago where they were talking about this. Jim Cornette was talking about it on TV. He said, "Yeah, the Godwins had a slop bucket for Sonny one night, and then come to find out there was 23 different DNAs in that bucket." I can tell you the story real quick if you want to hear it.
Sure, go on.
Yeah, we got to TV one day, and Bruce Pritchard said, "Y'all are going to slop Sonny tonight." I was like, "Oh yeah, that'll be awesome." So we got there, and they told us that, and we went down to catering, and I made my slop like I always do. You know, usually some bread and lettuce, a little milk, and just throw some other stuff in there, and that was usually the basic one.
Yeah.
So I made the slop. We went back to the locker room. We were going to go, talk about the match with the office. And so I set the slop down in the locker room, and all the boys were there. And I said, "Now, Sonny's getting slop tonight. Nobody mess with this." And I set it down, and we went, and we were gone an hour or two, and come back, and I noticed my bucket was filled up to the top, which I never fill it to the top because it's hard to carry when it's filled to the top. I fill it about halfway, and I know what I got to work with. So while I was there, a couple people had took it in the shower, and were the boys that were dipping tobacco were. So it was a joint operation, I guess, and
Yeah.
so she got it that night.
She really did. I remember that yeah, I remember that cover of a WWF magazine with her getting covered in the slop, like a really
Yeah.
iconic image that, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the top selling magazines back then. I got a couple that me and Phineas have signed, and I'm trying to find out if I could ship one to her and get her to sign it. I'd put $100 on her books.
Yeah, bless her. Yeah. Oh. It's yeah, it was also, but it was a really really good payoff to that storyline. Like we're jumping ahead a bit, but that Godwinn storyline and kind of her, Phineas being so kind of in love and gullible and you being there kind of looking out for him. And
Naive.
yeah, it was a great storyline.
Yeah, a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and uh, yeah, that night was a lot of good satisfactory after working with Sonny all them months. It was like pulling teeth sometimes, but yeah, that was a good payoff. I agree with you on that.
Which did you find her tough to work with as a talent?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yep, she was a toughie,
yeah.
but she got pushed into, and she was spoiled, and it just rubbed a lot of the boys the wrong way, and she was just hard to deal with. That's why she was so many ribs were pulled on her.
Well, I mean, she became so big so quickly, didn't she? Like I remember she was like the most searched for
Yeah,
person on the internet in 1996. Like she
yeah,
became a huge star so quickly.
she did. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and then she became toxic. She let it get a hold to her, and she became toxic. Then.